Hey guys, it's Sotti again. I'm here in an online talk with Jocke from the band CLAWFINGER. Hi, first of all.
Hello.
Hi. Jocke, you have a new album coming. We will talk about this. Most people outside should know you because CLAWFINGER is a band. For me, you are heroes of my youth. You can say like this. Yeah, it's like that. You have been on a poster on the wall of my first girlfriend. This is
That
how
is
I
so
discovered
nice.
you.
Yeah.
Funny thing. Yeah, but for people outside that maybe don't know you, can you say what is your part in the band and what is Clawfinger all about in a few
Yes.
sentences?
Um, I am the last bit of music. If you take away the guitar, the bass, the drums, and the vocals, I'll do the rest. So if there's like weird samples, noises, strange ambient stuff, that's me. So that's my part in it. And then later I went into the nerd side, so I'm the mixer and engineer for the new album too. So basically we're working together, but it's my fault. Um, the band Clawfinger, yeah, we started very young and happy in the beginning of the 90s, and very angry because um, we felt that the music industry was kind of horrible, and we had a lot of uh, different background from like old AC/DC Led Zeppelin. That's the guitarist, he's the oldest. To like for me, it was like body music and electronic stuff from early Kraftwerk to like later on in the 80s when all the chaos came. Then I ended up with listening to a lot of like trying to find obscure albums. I moved to Stockholm and went to the import and found Front 242 and stuff like that. And at the same time, I had my sister who was a punk rocker, so I had that in the background. My older brother, he listened to hard rock, so that I was playing at home, and another brother listening to disco, so it was like chaos in my head, but in a good way, I think. And then we had Zach, who was doing the vocals, and he was sort of a rapper because he couldn't sing, but at the same time, he was also a punk with old pictures of him having like 40 centimeter long spikes in a mohawk, and he got beat up by skinheads and stuff like that in the. So we had sort of a mishmash background that turned into just we tried to blend it all together. So yeah, a bit of punk, a bit of metal, a bit of program drums and weird noises. And then we're trying to add hip hop elements to that and see what happens. But due to our producer, Jakob Hellner, who also produced an unknown band called RAMMSTEIN, very nice young man. They're really, really nice, yes.
Cool.
So yeah, that's kind of the beginning, and we have been doing festivals throughout the years, but we were really cool in back in 93, 94, as I usually say. And then it's been like we have been there, but not been there, but we've been doing festivals ever since. So
Yeah. I, as I mentioned, for me, you are heroes of my youth because it's like when I grew up, I'm from 79 born, and then
yeah,
it was totally the time when I got into music. It was like first punk, then gothic came, and then
yeah,
all this alternative crossover stuff. And you are
yeah.
somehow the inventors of crossover with a few other bands, you can say. So not sticking to one genre, but putting them all together, as you said.
Yeah, I remember it was really difficult during that time because it was like, oh, you had to listen to only hard rock
Yeah.
or only synth, and there was like fights between them, and it's like, wait, what? This is because we can hang, So it was like, let's blend. I don't know, this is cool, and then it's a lot of hard work because it's difficult to make a guitar riff working with programmed drums, and nowadays everybody does it, but it was so much we had to break through some sort of um, made up frame of this is how it's supposed to be. And we're like, no, we want to do something else. And then everything was interesting. But there are some shitty demos. We have some really, really bad ones in on old cassettes. It's somewhere buried deep in the storage room.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe one day you can release some rarities box.
I think we did a box with rarities, but those were the good ones. The bad ones
Okay.
are still.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
we have some horrible things. Yeah.
totally funny because um, I have to say I have a wide musical background as you have, like
Yeah.
from punk to gothic to metal and stuff. But I have a big network in the dark and gothic and EBM scene, and I wasn't aware that there's some EBM and, for example, Font 242 influence in your music till today.
No,
So
it wasn't really that much in the music. It was more that it shaped my way of thinking that you need really, really heavy drums, otherwise it will not work. And drums are like almost half of the music, because if you have a fat drum beat, it's kind of like techno. Without the drums, it's nothing. It's just random noises. But with fat, big, thick, then it's like, oh, this is cool. And then with the ball music was the only type of music that actually had fat drums. So it was like I could listen to like the kick pounding and some like yes, all NITZER EBB, stuff like that. It was NITZER EBB was like they tucked down one bass line, drums, and a dude screaming on top. That was it. It was. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm there for that. I had like 12 inches and listening to it, and it's like sequenced bass drums, bass lines and stuff. But when you're in a band and it's like, no, I can't play like that. Yes, of course you can't, and we have to sync it. Do we want to have backing tracks? No, we don't. We want to play live. Okay, we have to figure out a different way of doing it. So it's a lot of diplomacy, compromises that basically changed and has made it what it is. It's like the true mishmash.
totally.
It's basically democracy.
I had several talks to bands, for example, that started totally electronic and then got a live drummer. And it's
Yeah.
always the problem that the programmed drums are not playable for a drummer. Or even
No.
the guitars, if someone has some guitar samples programmed, and then the real guitarist comes and says, okay, sounds cool, but I can't play this. It's not
No,
possible.
it's like you have to move your hand from here to here in less than a millisecond. It's like, wait, no, can you do it without the noise? No. But it's and we've always also said that on album whatever is good, because you can just throw it in there. Live, yeah, we'll see how we solve it. So many times we don't play all the stuff. We play like the main important stuff. If you listen to the song, I remember there's a melody. Okay, so we need the melody. What else? There's a lot of background noise. I don't know what it is. And then it turns out it's like 4 guitars. It's a pad. It's some choir samples. It's something from the news. And I was like, I can't even hear it. It sounds like noise. Let's keep the pad, And then it clears up. And then live, it's going to be noisy anyway. So,
Yeah, cool. And maybe we can take this to come to the new album and connect the old stuff and the new stuff, because
Yeah.
I think during years you learned a lot. So how did you, for example, record an album back in the 90s, Left Unblind, for example, the first one, and this new one, the title is Before We All Die. So
Yeah.
what's the difference when you look at the times back then to record an album and now?
Yeah, in the 90s, you did demos that was like with the 4-track tape recorder, like the very old style, and then you had drums that were programmed through Atari 1040 or ST, the classic with MIDI, and one sampler. We had an S1000 that we bought, and you had bits and pieces. I know that we had 11 seconds of samples, so it was basically super short stuff, and then you had to layer that, and half of that was the drums and things like that. So, it was a lot of fiddling, and then you went into the studio, you rented it. It cost like 500 euros a day, and then you recorded everything on tape. And it was, you have to sync it, and then you did the best you could, and you recorded everything. And then it was like after you had recorded maybe for 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, then it was like, done. This is the album. And then you send it off to mix, and it was another guy for another 500 a day. And he mixed it, and then you were like, I hope I'm happy. And then you listen, it's like, yes, it's so much better than I expected. Woo, yeah, because, and then you waited 3 months, and then came the CD, and everybody was super happy. Nowadays, we start off by sitting. I'm sitting where I live. Bård is sitting in Norway. where he lives. Zach is sitting in Stockholm. He has a cheap microphone and a cheap preamp. He records stuff. I send out ideas. Here's a riff. And instead of having just, when we sit together, it's like someone does a riff and you say, that's good, let's build on that. But when you're sitting by yourself, you send a lot more. You can get songs from Norway and then you try to add some vocals. I don't know what to add. Yeah, well, maybe we should try to do it different. But basically, we have just sent stuff to each other through the internet. And we have like a Google Drive that we are sharing that has like version 1, 2, 3. Remove that one, put it in, and then we just add stuff. I made this. What do you think? Yes. Can you sing it a little bit different? So it's a long process. Many months instead of many days.
Yes. Is this one of the reasons why it took so long to take a new record? Because you mentioned you haven't been around for a long time, so probably.
Yeah, the last album was 2007. So it basically we thought that, yeah, well, we're not gonna do it. We just go back to having music as a hobby. And then it was like one song was made, and then it was kind of like an idea of a song. And then we started talking about, yeah, maybe we should do maybe a single or an EP. If we have like 5 songs, we can use those 2 that we released. And then we can actually, if we add like 2 more or 3 more, and then, yeah, let's try to work a little bit, see what happens. And then basically during the weeks, I was working with the songs that we had, the ideas, got some from Norway. And then on the weekend, Zach did vocals because he had some time off. And then he sent the vocals like on Sunday. And then I had the week to arrange and that gave me the idea of doing. And then it's like, oh, maybe we have another song. But the most important part was that Zach felt like, okay, I have an idea of a vocal. What do you think about this? And then usually it's like the rest of the song takes 12 minutes to make. So we haven't really. I blame Zach. It's his fault. Yeah, if he would have been, if he would have been, happy and like, oh, here's some lyrics, boys, then we would have an album way before this. But yeah, so
Zach is guilty. Yeah. This is
Always.
perfect conclusion of this interview. Zach is guilty. Yeah, happens. It's really good because I've seen, for example, Tear You Down was released, I think 2019 something. So you have been releasing stuff somehow, but you thought, okay,
Like
let's really do an album. So nowadays it's not every band is doing albums. It's more like feeding the algorithms and stuff. Was this something you were thinking about as well?
Yeah, the management was like, guys, releasing. That's why we're releasing so many singles, and for us it's crazy, and we feel like, okay, I have no idea anymore. But the label / management, they like, no, this is how we do it. It's gonna be fine. And I'm like, I'm too old, but it's okay. I will go. Teach me, sensei, and we will do this as good as we can. But for us, it was more releasing something in like the metal world. It's more. If we have an album, it would be easier to get like festivals and okay, so they are actually alive instead of releasing just single songs. And then it's also more fun to have like a copy of an actual physical something. So that was number 2 that we got interest from record labels, and then we worked with the. And it's been like a crosstalk between management and label and us that can we have like 10 songs or 10 new songs, because we remixed the singles that we did. So those are the 2 extras basically, and then we have like I will try to find a label to release an album, said the management. And then we said, okay, let's try. I'm not going to promise anything. And then it was like, I don't know. And we send the ideas. And then suddenly Zach okay, I had an idea just for fun. And it's like, this is great. And then we just arrange it and it's going to be perfect. Like this perfect day. I just sent him the idea. It was samples from Cubase and I found stuff. And then I said, okay, so make something, and he was like, yes, how about this? And he came up with the whole thing of a perfect day that ends up in fucking terror. And I was like, yes, we just need more distortion at the end. And then we need it more cute. So, Board, can you do the guitar? So he's playing like jazz guitar, sampled, cutting up, pretty much the same. I re-edit everything, and then, synth bass. And the most fun part is that the beginning you can hear like birds chirping and stuff really happily. And that was my headset that I put it out the window because there were birds outside and just recorded.
Great.
So it's a lot of do it yourself, and it's gonna be fine. That attitude, which is really interesting of today, because back in the days, 90s and 2000, when you did an album, you put your heart and soul. This is the most important thing you can do. 24/7. It has to be. Oh, and yeah, well, it turned out okay.
But I think this may be a good thing because I really love the album.
Thank
For
you.
me, it's one of the best albums of the last month. So,
Oh, nice.
is it that you had more freedom? Maybe is it that you say, okay, let's do it like we feel, not like we have to do the next big thing.
Yes. Well, I think that if you ask Board, he's always 100%. But for me and Zach, we are more. I don't know if we have any special letters or if we are neurodivergent. But for us, it's more like if we don't have fun, we can't perform, sort of. So when we start having fun, then it's flowing in a different way. Um, I think also, I don't know, we have somehow the brain had a lot of things going on that needed to come out, and it was easy, sort of, to just throw it out there. Maybe we're older and we know, I know what I can do, and I know what my strengths are, because I've done it for a long time. So it's more like, no, I take care of that, don't worry. And the other guys have like, yes, he will take care of that, we are not worried. Instead of, I don't trust that he can take care of it, maybe I should help. Usually, if you have a lot of people, you're standing like, hello, 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 can I help you? Can I help you? Then it's getting really annoying, and you just, okay, fuck this, I'm gonna go out. So we have much respect for, you do that, but what do you think of this? Can we change this? But I keep your idea. Yes, very good. Can I do this? Yes, perfect. It's been a lot of more harmony, to put it that way. Because the last album was also like, this is gonna be it. We have to work our asses off. So
And I think A Perfect Day, for example, is a good example because you would never expect this track by Clawfinger. And it
no,
was at the
exactly.
beginning, I thought, okay, this sounds cool, but what is it? And it ends up like the angry Clawfinger stuff
Yeah.
but it's so funny, and this is freedom, I think. Nowadays you can
Yeah.
do this. I think maybe in the 90s people wouldn't have understood this.
No, people would know, and it was almost that we didn't understand it when we did it, but it was because Zach added one of the noises at the end, and he was like screaming. It's like, God, I hate this fucking shit. And I was like, okay, what we need to do is to cut it like digitally silent with only birds, so you can really see it's like an explosion but backwards. So you see like it's crawling up, and then there's nothing. And it's like, okay, we need to add more sound. And, you can see the wave file when you look at it at the end. It's like, it is loud. And then suddenly it's like, squashed. And it's getting louder and louder, but it's impossible. So everything is like, yes. I talked to Jens Bogren, the mastering engineer. He's like, what am I supposed to do at the end? Just blast the shit out of it. It's supposed to be the loudest part on the album. And he's like, Roger that, sir. He just pushed it up. So it's, more noise, more noise. See what happens. His voice changes. I had different plugins, so it's getting grimy and wide, and it's in the beginning. It's like he's really close, and it's like hello. And then it's, yeah, it's fun. But it was a surprise when it came. It's like, yeah, should we add like a get? No, this is perfect.
Yeah. It is like,
But it's but as you said, it's a lot of freedom and a little bit of our type of humor, and just it's not that important. We're too old to be cool, sort of.
And that makes you cool. I think this is
Thank you for saying that. Well,
if you pretend to be cool, you normally don't. You are not. But if you say, okay, I give a shit on it, then you are cool.
Thank you. That is very appreciated. I will think of that next when I go shopping later.
Do it like that. Yeah. And I have to ask, when you say going shopping, so what makes a day perfect to you? A real day?
Well, about 1.5 years ago, I moved to Arvidsjaur in the north. And it's so far north that we don't really have, the sun goes up, so it looks like a sunrise, and then it goes down again in the winter. I had a beautiful house that is about 140 square meters for about half the price I paid for an apartment in Stockholm. That was some 67 square meters. I have all my gear around me. I have a rack to the left and right. I have all my keyboards are up, except a couple that I have in the storage room. I had my amps in here. I have golden albums. I have I have guitars on the wall. I have all the stuff in the storage room. I can do whatever I want. I have my workstation is right in front of me. It's basically a perfect day is waking up, having a coffee, and then figure, what shall we do today? Maybe I will work here. Maybe I will play a little bit of computer. Arc Raiders is really fun. Maybe I'll do something else. And then you have up here a community that are isolated but very glued together. So there's a bunch of people that are really, really, really nice, and we hang a lot, and we talk a lot, and we just sit online and chit chat. So how was your day? It was great. That is a pretty perfect day. Talking to my girlfriend, having, perfect. Yeah.
Totally see. And this is somehow like working and like work-life balance, as you say nowadays. Have a good work-life balance.
Yes, it's very important.
Great. But we have to, for the people outside that think, okay, they have fun, it's a funny track, but this CLAWFINGER, for sure, the album is totally full of angriness, of political stuff, of all the things that are CLAWFINGER and have been always. So, for example, the opening track is perfect example, Scum.
Yes.
So, what did you think when that came with the lyrics, and how did you work it out with the samples and stuff?
It was very felt almost liberating when he came up with that, because it's political because it's about the Trump, but at the same time it's his persona. It's not what he does in the politics or what he's doing. He's just that he's a horrible person that is just horrible, and that he's sitting with all that. So when he came with the lyrics, it was like, oh yes, of course, this is great. Because the idea from the beginning was kind of like some random dude that was a scum, and that was the original demo. And then we need to figure out who is it about and what is it about. And then suddenly he came with that lyric and narcissistic and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, yes, perfect. Oh no, people are going to get angry. Well, we're kind of used to that, because, we made songs before that people get really angry about. So let's see what happens. And it is good. And it's very deliberate, relieving to scream scum live, and you have lots of power. It feels good. It feels good. Everybody should have a scum song to scream.
And I think this is important because this brings it to the point. Trump is scum, you can say
Yeah.
that. And he's no politician. He's
No, he's not.
some random guy getting into this to get more power and more money and destroying the world. How he is working.
But my latest idea is that, okay, he is just the frontal figure that is just dumbass enough to stand in the front and be just a dumbass. But the dangerous people are those in the background that follows the rule book of, the 2025 thingy that the Republicans, we have to change this. Let him scream. That's good. Give them a lot of noise so they don't hear this, And of course, as a German, you know exactly the rule book they're playing by, and that they do not know history, because the quick buck is more important than actually being a human being, sort of.
I think the big problem is that more and more people forget history.
Absolutely.
All over Europe as well. It's like we have
Yeah.
this right-wing stuff coming up again, and I totally don't understand.
No, me neither. And I also wonder how many, they are just repeating stuff that they hear on the internet. So I think that there's a lot of disinformation, intelligent bots. If you have ChatGPT create a lot of accounts going out and, but being angry and complaining, and then you can't really put the finger on it because it feels weird. But there's no one explaining anything. It's just that, okay, this is horrible. And then you have like a little bit of information, but not everything. So, for instance, in Sweden, there's a big talk about, they have let in 1 million immigrants the last, and then it's like, wait, 1 million immigrants? That sounds really strange because I have totally different figures. And then it's like, okay, in 10 years, since 2015, when the big Syrian chaos was, and there was a very exceptional year. But then also you don't put in that how many are going back every year. So like 100,000 comes in, and there's about 65 that goes out every year. But that number is not a part of this, because that is against the agenda. The agenda is that, there's so many that we will soon have Sharia laws in here, and which is of course silly and bullshit.
Yeah, sure. And is this, for example, in Germany, if you would send those back that have stayed, the health system, for example, would collapse.
All the
Everything would collapse,
hospitals,
because those are so integrated, and they are so important for our society nowadays.
Yeah, like bus drivers, cleaners, hospital workers. It's like the lowest workforce and the cheapest and stuff that you need lots of people who are like, okay, I am willing to work and I am used to work really hard. Welcome,
Yeah, but also doctors, for example. We have really, really good doctors from Syria.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
true.
they would go, people would get no surgery and stuff like this anymore. So.
Yeah, I remember there's been a lot of stuff like, I worked as a doctor in Iran, but I'm working as I work as a janitor now, because I don't get it's not considered the same education, so you have to do like an additional one, and it takes a long time, and blah 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 blah. So it's a lot of resources that we need, basically.
Yeah. And to get it back to your music, so
Yes,
the album is
sorry.
called Before We All Die. So this is like some dystopian title somehow. It's also a title of a song.
Yes.
And I think this connects to all these things, this right-wing stuff, also destroying environment and stuff. It's in many of the songs. So how did you work this out? Was it like, did you want to wake up the people somehow within your album?
Well, if we can do that, that would be great. But for it felt more like, okay, let's do this for our own sake. And what is the songs about? And Zach is writing stuff as he's getting older, and you see the youth are growing up, and then you see all the shit or whatever. And then we were sitting there, okay, so if we release an album every 19th year, then this might be the last album before we all die. And then we start laughing because we're sitting in a Zoom meeting, and as that, before we all die, said the manager who just turned 60. That's actually quite good one. Yeah, because in 19 years, you will be like 79, you will be 82. And then it's like, okay, so this... Yeah, before I like that. And then it's like, oh yeah, you can also use it in, because of that environment. We should have the planet almost exploding. And then, you have to live before we all die. It's kind of also celebration of life, and do the right thing. There's always a right or wrong thing. But if you, try to be nice, he screams that in, try to be teacher. And, there's, it's kind of like if we stop being so goddamn aggressive towards each other, then it could be nice, before we all die. There is a chance, sort of.
So I think we can't change what the big players are doing, but we all can change things in our lives and being, for example,
Yes,
less aggressive, being more kind to each
100%.
other, not
Yeah.
polarizing so much, except for Nazis, for example.
But then again, they managed to be polarizing without having algorithms that are trying to polarize.
Yeah.
Because of the, like how Facebook is working is like, if you like something, you get a little bit more. But if you get upset and you write a lot of stuff, then for the algorithm, it's like, okay, this is a good thing because many words are coming out of his fingers. So we give him more of that. So the algorithm is basically dividing to make people angry because then they write more. And then you have Nazis, for instance, that are already dividing, and they are just playing along with the algorithms. And then you have a dude like Elon that's helping out everything just to divide and conquer, because a strong Europe is terrible for the rest of the world. And I think that the plan was that Donald Trump was going to be re-elected 2020. And then he would go into Venezuela, steal oil, or take Greenland, and Putin would at the same time go into Ukraine and steal their resources. And this is a plan that those two motherfuckers had. And at the same time, divide Europe because Europe was a little bit too strong. But because we have so many different languages, there is a chance that we can just, fuck them. Like England, Brexit, 100%. Algorithm bot thingy, external interference just to make them do that dumb decision, which was kind of like a joke for them because no one expected it to actually work.
Yeah.
That's my. I went down the rabbit hole, and I apologize because there was a lot of, theories.
But I'm totally into this. I think it's, as you mentioned, there's lots going on behind and in the algorithms, and we as people and as human beings have to go against and see how we can take the algorithms for us, for example. This is what I try with my social media, getting some positive messages and stuff out.
I had a time when I started to, as soon as I saw politics, I just scrolled. And then I saw happy cats or dogs doing funny stuff. I pressed like, and I wrote, oh, what a cute cat, So I tried to change the algorithm, and it worked so well. So basically on Instagram, I only have like happy animals or people. Now I have some friends sending me videos of people stumbling or slipping on ice and stuff. So I'm getting more of that now. But it's very little politics and very much happy animals. So the algorithm works. It is just a basic fact, and it takes very little time, a week or so, before it changes completely.
Yeah, but it's because those guys like Zuckerberg and even Elon Musk a little bit not, he's political somehow, but Zuckerberg, for example, for him, it's only important that you stay connected to his media. So he wants you to be happy, and if you are happy somehow or connected, happy in a good or bad way.
Yeah. So that is, but then of course, you can have like, even if you have an agenda, put it this way, and you own the algorithm, you can fine tune the algorithm so you're getting a little bit more of that, and maybe we should quiet that down a little bit. If you would, I'm not saying that they are, but I don't trust America for shit. It's always about the money anyway, and it's always been. So if there's money in suppressing certain things and pulling up some other things, they will goddamn do it. Like they did in 2016 when Donald was elected the first time. It was like a joke. It felt like a joke until the nightmare had begun. Sort of.
I'm always thinking about song lyrics I maybe one day do about him being the worst joke in history, but I'm not sure how to work it out, but maybe one day one song about this will come.
So in that case, it's a good thing, making more music, and that's also kind of what the right wings in Sweden are trying to do, is like remove the cultural like music industry. Shouldn't be. And we have a big history of having like different type of people's educational spots. So basically, you can have like self-education in a cheap way that it's tax funded. But you know, the right doesn't like people who are intelligent, because then they start questioning stuff. So you have to remove education. USA is a great example of that. They don't even know what's going on, and they're like, what? You know, the world is their little bubble that they have, and that's it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who has, but they have to pay for their own education, and so it's kind of, you're trying really hard to keep the poor and to keep the people unknown of how it looks in reality, sort of, which is more important for us that are actually intelligent and educated.
Yeah, totally. And if the people ask questions, even the poor ones and the not educated ones, these are simple questions, and the right wings try to give them simple answers, not correct answers, but simple answers. So
exactly, yeah. The most important is that it's a simple, but nothing is simple. There is very complex questions that they ask, but they ask, so why is there so many? Well, first of all, and then it's like, okay, you lost me at first of all, because you want to have like bad,
Yeah, that's it. That's what I tell my girlfriend, for example, when she sometimes rants about stuff. I say, think about it. The world is complex. Everything is complex. You have no simple topics. You have nothing, even love, for example, but nothing is as easy that you can say yes or no. Maybe binary code, but even this is to get complex things done.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, this is cool. Back to the music. It's totally cool.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
I think it's important. Clawfinger is a band for me that's not like a happy thing. It's like if I would talk to Rage Against Machines, for example, I couldn't talk about flowers and maybe about birds somehow.
Yes, maybe.
These are the important things in your music. But to get this connected again, the new songs you mentioned, for example, Come Screaming on Stage would be cool, or maybe you already did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Which other songs do you think will be really, really cool to perform then on stage?
But that is the fun part also, because when we were making the songs, as I work, I visualize a lot. So I saw myself always like cool intro, big fat, and then the crowd goes, yeah, So I have that. Most of the songs are basically, if we could play it like the album, it should be as powerful, live as it feels. And that was also one of the, because when you've been playing live for so many years, you have this huge PA with lots of power. And how do you translate that into a CD? That's very difficult. But, I did the best I could, and I think it sounds very powerful. Then if it is, then, then good. If it's not, then I did my best. But it's kind of, all the songs could be really cool live, because they have a certain way of it's kind of easy and at the same time complex. The complexity is all the noises, but for me it's easy to play that because I can just press a key. I don't have to play it like perfect. Yeah. Well, we rehearsed the other week, and we rehearsed a couple of songs. We're gonna have a release party in Sweden in a month, and we're gonna play like 5 or 6 new songs. And so we tried to rehearse different types, and yeah, they sounds good. It feels good. So every time, but the chorus is the important part. For instance, like Titanic, it's a homage to House of Pain, Cypress Hill, the 90s boom bap with the oldest scratch in the history. And I found it on like a sampling CD that you bought during the 90s. And it was like, what is this? Oh, scratches. Oh, this is so much fun because it's the oldest one that they actually started scratching on 1982. It's like super, super, super old. And I was like, oh, this is like homage to full circle, because it felt like that because I moved into a smaller town and I grew up in a small town. And for me, it was like, okay, let's go. We just follow your heart and not the mindfulness of the music industry, because it doesn't even exist. So in that song, it's like we start off at having a drummer playing, and I was like, no, no, let's go with loops, and then we do big chorus, and then we have just tiny with the little stuff, and then big chorus. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And we played it, rehearsed it, and it's really cool. Uh,
I hope
yeah,
I can hear it live someday.
sometime next year. I'm no, this year actually. I think we play. Where are you stationed? What town?
In North Rhine-Westphalia, in the Ruhr area, like Duisburg.
Okay.
Duisburg is my hometown. But
Yeah.
the problem is, I've seen you're playing lots of festivals, but there was none where I will attend. So
Okay.
you have to do some tour.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we will do something. I'm pretty sure of it.
But we can take this because the festivals, for sure, you have to play some of the old hits and stuff. So how do you bring in the new songs and mix them up with the old material for the festivals? Because you can't play 12 songs there from your album.
Yeah. Well, depends on how much time we have. Usually, when we have like a 1 hour slot, sometimes it's like 45 minutes, and then you don't have time to play anything. Because there are some songs that is sort of like we have to play that one. We have to play that one. Uh, but it's when we have rehearsed the new songs and what feels easy, and it's just something in your mind that says, okay, this is going to be great live. And then we add them, and we have tried, and you have to play them and try them live a couple of times before it actually you know goes into your mind of yes, this works. But some songs are like immediately, yes, perfect. And then we usually most of the songs we play live have been trial and error. But it's like, oh, that one works really well. Oh yeah, we that one is so nice to play. It makes us happy. Makes us energetic, and it gives us power. Oh no, that one is too boring. Okay, we remove it, and then we choose another one. Is that one better? Yeah. Okay, good. So it's kind of like our little happy place when all the songs are accepted by everyone, and it feels good. So we will do probably the same with the new songs. Some is going to be like, oh, this is a single. Yes, but we released like 12 singles out of 8 songs, so it doesn't really matter nowadays. It's more like which one feels good to play, and then we will rehearse and we will feel how it feels, basically.
Yeah, so maybe even depending on which stage you play, if you have some harder metal festival, it's different maybe than to
Yes.
something more
Th-
rocky with more
Then we
mixed.
skip that one and we bring in that one instead because it's more like, yeah, full on and less noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
And,
we can adjust a lot.
and are there some songs that are set from your old material that have to be played every time?
Well, yes. Um, well, we around when that guy, what was his name, Floyd, when he got killed behind the car in was it in Minnesota? It was somewhere in the States when he was
Yeah,
he was
I'm not sure I know what you mean,
he
but I'm
was
not sure
squashed to
which.
death behind the car. Then it was a big rise again about Black Lives Matter and who's doing this and what. And then the song "Nigger" came up again, and it was kind of viewed in a new window. And it was lots of reaction videos, and we sat down and like, yes, and they all had the same point. It's first verse, yes, very provocative and stuff like that. And then the third verse is like, oh, another white guy trying to tell the black people how to live their life. And then it was like, God damn it. Yeah, well, should we remove it? Yes, let's remove it. We have lots of songs. We can play other. So we did remove that song. And then it's like, why don't you play it? No, well, and then you explain it over and over again.
Mm.
But we have like biggest and the best has to be there. It's always one of the staples. Do what I say. It's such a legend. Yeah, exactly. And so those two are basically always there. And then it was a surprise because there's the price we pay from the 2007 album. It's a really nice crowd pleaser with a little bit of singing and stuff. That was a surprise, but yes. So we playing that one, and then there's like two sides, really important because it has the weird groove with the special loop in a kind of a shuffle thingy, which is also like we should play that. Yeah, we should. It's so groovy. a couple of more, but those are the ones that I'm thinking most of in like stuff we sort of have to, it has to be a part of. But then it's already like almost 20 minutes. So and then it's like, so what should we start with? Should we play some old? Yes, we should. Which one? Oh yeah, I have on my laptop, I have like a live set where I switch between different songs. And I can do that. And right now I have 41 songs, which is hours and hours of music if we would play them all. But, and then we can do a set. How long is it? 45 minutes. Oh, Lord, I have to remove more songs. There's nothing left here, So it's, yeah, we have a bunch. And I don't know, if we're doing the tour, we might play forever. We're never going to stop. We're going to play like start in the afternoon. And then we just pass out at the end if we continue to drink beer.
As you mentioned, when I grow up, so this is the cool one because now you are grown up somehow a little bit.
Yes.
But how much of a child is still in you?
Oh, a lot. We are very similar in the way that we had like parents that are after like post-war parents. And because of the post-war parents, they turned into some sort of cold, not talk about feelings. You should never ask for help. You should make it yourself. And a good man can take care of his business. It's kind of like a standing mantra that our parents have been talking about. And if someone's like, so what happened to that, physical, psychological problems? No, it's fine. We don't talk about that. Okay, next subject. It's kind of like all the problems that you got from a PTSD or whatever happened, because everyone was affected, was just swept under the carpet. Removed from the hemisphere. Everybody's fine. Everything is fine. And then you realize nothing is fine, but you don't realize it later. So basically, I'm still growing up. I'm still learning stuff every day. Right now, I'm probably mentally around 26, 27. But, because I'm getting old.
Yeah, this is old 26, yeah.
Yeah, so when we get drunk and we sit down and then we have certain things in common, and the common thing is our parents were kind of not there and a little bit dumb and kind of aggressive, and we didn't get any support. So we have done all of that ourselves, and we are with music. We kind of, I love the technology because it's like fiddling with stuff instead of building Lego, but it's kind of the same thing mind-wise,
Yeah, but funny thing, because as you mentioned this, when I discovered you as a band, it was like I was 15, 16 around this. And then people being 26 have been old for us.
Yes,
they
were.
The drummer of my band was 10 years older, and he was all like, oh, he's really old. And nowadays,
Very
okay,
old.
okay, 26.
Yeah.
Funny.
I know.
We still feel young, except maybe for some body issues.
We don't have to go into that thing right now, but yes.
Yeah. So
As
you are really deep into sound technique stuff?
Yes, as you can tell. Yes, that is it's been my hobby and passion for many, many years now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, great. So maybe I do some, what is it called, Praktikum in German with you,
Yes.
because we need, I'm here in a small venue and they always need some sound technicians.
Yes.
And I was thinking about learning it because I want to do concerts, but we don't have some people for doing the mixing and stuff. And it would be cool to do it myself. But to be honest, I'm not really, really deep into it. I'm like a DJ, for example. I know how to change a little bit and do bass and more reverb and stuff like this. But really complex things like mixing a band, I've never done before. So
it is yes, it will take a lot of practice.
Yeah, I think so.
And all the things. Basically, the fastest tip is that one guy told me that remove what's bad and unnecessary instead of adding what you think it needs. So basically, if you have something like a hi-hat, remove all the low end Just keep the top end good, but then remove the low end, and then you have a kick drum. Remove, the bad. It's usually center. Snare, remove the low end. Cymbals, remove low end. Vocals, usually it's the low end that's really bad, except for bass. So if you have that as a common denominator, like remove, then the kick drum sounds great, the bass sounds really good, and everything sounds okay.
Yeah, it's a good tip. Because
yes, thank you.
If I start, maybe this would be the first thing to do, and then see where I get. So,
and also try to get like raw files from somewhere. If there's like a club like Cola Audio, you can sign up and you can get like real mix files and then practice. Just like how the hell,
Yeah, I see. Good. Yeah, I think in most cases, I think it would be like some dark wave bands and stuff where you only have maybe some synthesizer, some guitar, and some vocals. So this should be rather easy. I think drums are the complexest thing to mix. Is it like this? And special instruments like, for example, violin and stuff.
Yeah. But also if you have a lot of synthesizers, then usually what I do with them is like you have like a fat pad, and the fat pad usually have a lot of bass. If you don't need that bass, remove it, and then the sub is doing that anyway. So it's a similar way of where are the instruments, where are the synthesizers, what is it doing? Is it doing melody? Remove everything except the melody, like. And if it's only the noise, remove all the low end, because noise is supposed to be high. It's kind of that's how I'm been fiddling with all these gears. Oh yeah,
totally understand.
So we have a little bit of bearing on the top, and some old stuff. There's a what's it called? JP 8000 underneath the Wacken, and then I have a Roland. This Phantom 06. So this one is rarely used because it's an 90s machine, but still has the great sound like the classic techno. But the thing that we use the most is the ribbon controller, because you can have one sound on the left side and one sound on the right side, and then you morph between them.
That's great.
Which is really, really, really cool. You have like a feedback oscillator, and on the right side you have a lot of delay. And on the left side, it's very dry and noisy. So you can basically, and then you have like delay echoing and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, cool thing, because I restarted doing some music myself.
Yeah.
Some month ago, and I'm still learning and seeing how things work. Mostly I do on the computer, like most people do, but I want to have some more equipment soon.
I realized that when I was sitting, when we did the album, that I had, when you sit in a computer, you have so many sounds. You have like all the sounds in the world. And basically you sit and flip through presets more than you actually play music. And then I realized by buying like one of these small things, this is a TB303 copy from Beringen. It's so cheap. So basically you can throw it and, you buy it and throw it, but it still has USB, MIDI and stuff like that. So it's completely synced up. And that one is controlling the Pro 800. It's kind of like, so I could have like an acid on one filter, and then I use the other one that I distorted through the third synth, and then I got them all together, and it was like, yes. And then it turns into something more like what I do. But then it's much more hands-on. You move actual things instead of sitting with the mouse and scrolling. And the preset hunting was like, no, I want something more. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's mine, and that's kind of one of these guys will be, it's perfect when you like just to turn knobs. So great.
Great. Okay, I think we could talk for hours.
I think so too, sadly, but yes.
Yeah, but maybe we should come to an end slowly, because we are in the TikTok time, and more than an hour of video.
Yeah, you can do a lot of shorts.
Yeah, probably I will do. I'll cut this down into pieces. This is my last resort. Oh, other band.
Yeah, like this is going to be like 4 weeks of content.
Yeah. But it's great. It's cool. We should do some more of these in the future.
Would like it.
When you're on tour, maybe some person, maybe on tour, not an hour I think you have to prepare then.
It
But
doesn't matter. It's all good anyway. No, then it's probably going to be someone is like knocking. Oh, we have sound check. Shut up. And they're still
yeah,
going to be like, yeah, sound check, dude. Yeah. So.
it's often like this. Yeah, great. But I have to ask you something because funny thing, I met Mambo Kurt a week ago.
Yes,
You still remember him for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I had forgotten it. I had read, I think I read his biography some years ago, and he mentioned the story inside. And then when I prepared for the interview, I got on Wikipedia and I said, okay, yes, you discovered him somehow. So you
We
made him
did. We
famous.
did a thing.
Yeah.
But the thing for us is that we have always we love music and we love stuff that just talks to us. And he was the perfect blend of AC/DC and salsa, sort of in a weird drum machine kind of way.
Mhm.
So we did a club gig somewhere. I don't remember where, and then it was like the after party was in the pub on the other side of the house, and we walked there and we said, "What in the hell is this?" And we were like, "This is the best I've seen in a long time." Like, great sense of humor. For us, it was like, "Oh wow," all cylinders were like firing. So we asked him if he wanted to support us for the rest of the tour, and he was like, "Yes, of course." And we were out in the audience like, look at people, they don't get shit, they don't understand. And we were like, it's funniest ever. And then apparently that worked well for him. So I'm really happy about that. And still when we meet, it's like, so good to see you, big hugs and stuff.
Yeah, he's a totally lovely guy. I've done some interview with him as well, I think 2 years ago and stuff. And the reason why I met him again now was did some organ solo on a track from a friend of mine who is doing metal and does
Yes,
Lego stop motion videos for his metal songs.
that
Totally.
is really cool.
Yeah, and Mambo Kurt is in this video as a Lego figure and stuff. It's totally.
Okay,
And he
okay,
was on the
that's
release
really cool.
party playing, and it was really, really, really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the world is
Oh, that-
small, so how we meet all again and
Yeah, especially if you've been around for 30 years, then
yeah.
you travel and travel and travel, and there's speaking of musicians in Sweden, we have maybe 100 musicians that are up there. So after a while, you kind of know them almost by name, because you met them so many times on different festivals and stuff. And then it's like, well, we go way back, 20 years. Like, come on, give me, even if we were like competitors or whatever, but still. Those people that are like that, so good to see you guys. Yes, not our music. I don't care. Let's hug. Then you know that they're good guys, and then you support them anyway.
But is there some competition between musicians somehow?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
Well, when they're younger, it's I guess that if you're three really good drummers, and then you have 5 tours that you have to fight for, and those are really paying your yearly salary, then of course it's competition. But then if someone is a dick, then he's talking shit and then it comes out and he's gone. So basically you have to be some sort of like professional, whatever that means. I could never do it because I'm obviously not professional. I'm way too honest, and if it's not fun, I was like, I have to go, and then I leave. So.
Totally with
Yeah,
you.
well, speaking of support bands, that we knew that we found this demo back in '93 when we were out touring in a van in Sweden. The only thing it said, it was Meshuggah and then a phone number, and we listened to the tape and it was amazing. And then we asked them to be on our European tour, and then of course they turned out pretty good too. Yeah, and. Well, we had another band, RAMMSTEIN as support, 95. Yeah, they did good. Yeah, good kids. A little bit crazy, but very nice.
Yeah,
They were lucky a little bit later.
I think Rammstein is really, really some special story somehow. I know you, for example, having them as support. Project Pitchfork, as you maybe know,
Yeah.
Peter is a good friend of mine nowadays. They've been supporting them as well, and
Yeah.
everybody said, okay, this is a cool band. And nowadays they are, I think, the biggest German band. It's
Yes.
maybe besides Scorpions somehow, but you can't compare it totally. But nowadays,
No,
it's
but yeah,
some
Scorpions are, because they are older, then they are more
yeah,
legendary. But otherwise, in size of festivals and stadiums, hell yeah, they are so big that it's almost crazy.
But as you mentioned, meeting other musicians, for example, if you meet the Rammstein guys at a festival, is it like you connect to them as well, or are they
Yes.
somehow
Well,
separate?
depends on, usually, I have a tight schedule, so you don't see them. But when they were playing, um, I went to visit one of their concerts, and then the Schneider, the drummer, he was like, "Oh, Jocke, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Well, I was on the guest." That is so nice. And then big hug and have a shot of tequila. So we are still sort of family, but we are the distant relatives that you don't even meet for Christmas, but every 5 years or something. And then it's like, oh, such a good. Remember when we did that? Yes, I remember that. That was stupid. Yes. So we have a history of several meetings, and I don't know them that deep as personas, like how they are in their family and stuff. But as when we toured with them as support, and then we supported them 2001, and we had our own dressing room, and we sat and we talked. We were sitting in the catering, and we talked to all the crew. We helped out. So what are you using there? Yeah, I'm using this one. Oh, that was cool. Or have you seen, like technological stuff, and geeked out. And so the one closest to me is Paul Anders, and yeah, Schneider, and the poor bass player. His English is so bad that we never. But he seemed to be a very, very nice guy. But we have actually never speaking. But he was like, "Hello, yes, yeah, bitte."
So I think your German is not that good as well, or is it? Do you have
No,
some
it's
German?
it's pretty terrible. I know a little bit, but it's basically from touring. I can order a beer, or I can order a coffee, or if it's spelled like this, it could be pronounced like this, maybe. And then you see someone's like they're shaking their head, but you get the right stuff anyway. So
Yeah, totally understand. It's like for me, example, my Swedish is bad as well because I don't know
no,
much.
yeah,
Some words somehow. My girlfriend, before we got together, she was going to go to Sweden because she had a boyfriend there. So she
okay,
speaks a little bit, and when we meet Swedish bands, she tries to talk to them a little bit. But
okay, yeah,
even
that's
the
cool.
basics, it's like me trying to talk Italian or some what I learned
Yeah,
in
yeah.
school.
Then it's
Yeah,
like, hello, my name is.
yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's a classic, and you pick up a little bit of some words are really the same. You can tell that Sweden was big friends with Germany a while back, because there's so many like borrow words, and then suddenly it's like, oh, France is cool, so we have a lot of French words.
yeah,
So yeah, that's kind of how Swedish has always been, like trying to be with the cool boys.
yeah. But I think it's with most languages because we all adapt from
Yeah.
neighbors and the other countries and stuff. And you have English words in Germany, you have French words like portemonnaie and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
And
Portemonnaie is in Swedish too, and garage,
uh,
and then you have bagage. Some
and
words are like, yes, very good. Mm.
well, what I really like is Gammler because Gammler is old. And
Yes.
in Germany, Gammeln is like old stuff, but it's not the good stuff like going down. Or Gammeln
Okay.
being lazy, laying around, and I gammel. Ich gammel.
Okay. Yeah, that is cool.
Funny.
Yeah, because some words have been obviously it's like you learned them, and then maybe you didn't learn the correct. So it's like it has like it's old. No, it's old and bad. It's like to say, yeah. Someone was like, he thinks it's only old.
Totally understand this.
Yeah.
Great. So I think we have really, really much material.
I hope you have.
And I think I have 10 more questions, but this may be next time. But for sure, we need some good end question. And
Yes.
maybe as you as Clawfinger connect metal and rap. So can you tell me who are your metal heroes of all time and
Mm.
who are your rap heroes of all time?
Well, Metal Heroes, James Hetfield for his right hand, the right hand of God, sort of. But after that, it became more. Well, Metallica was the first really metal band that I felt like, oh yes, this is punching my gut. It's really really powerful. I love it. And then a little bit of Anthrax, but they didn't have the vocals for it. And then a little bit of Slayer, but I thought the production was kind of bad, but Metallica always had good production, pounding heavy drums, fat guitars. And then, of course, in the 90s, then when we heard Meshuggah, then Meshuggah became the heroes. And then it's like, okay, this is mind-blowing every single time I hear a new song. And it's maybe not as mind-blowing anymore because it's so many years later, so you kind of learn how it works. But I was mind-blown by them for at least 20 years, sort of. Rap heroes, for me, it's a lot about the NWA, the Public Enemy, the kind of like a Zack type of boomy voice, powerful, elbow to the nose, kind of like you are intimidated by. I can't really stand the mumble rap on it. No. It has to be easy, powerful, forceful, and I would say Public Enemy and the early like Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, the West Coast going in when it was a clear message. It was easy to understand. It was kind of childish, and it was a lot of cuss words. Those are and fat beats. It's very important.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a Metallica combo with the rap there. That it's Clawfinger.
Two funny additions. Just Mambo told us that Slayer are fans of him. At least they wanted a photo with him.
That is great.
You brought them together somehow. And Ice-T, this was somehow like a fan moment of mine. I was on backstage 2 years ago, and Ice-T sat, I think, 2 meters besides me.
When you see him, he's a legend. You really like, this is Ice-T.
Yeah. It was like, I meet many musicians and stuff, but this was, wow. He's sitting there. like in Wayne's.
Yes, he is a legend. Yeah, those are when we kind of same age. So, with like crazy motherfucking name, Ice Cube, and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And I can finish with the most silly story. We played the Hellfest in France. It was not last year, but the year before. And after that, we were sitting and we were watching another band on the big stage. And backstage is kind of like elevators. So you see the stages and you see the crowd. And then there was fire everywhere. And I talked to a young man next to me, and he was like, so the fire on the roof there is kind of like offbeat or something. Oh, it should be coming now. There was no fire. And I was like, what the hell? And then we just started chit-chatting between. And it was kind of like a cozy little bit moment. He was young, I was old, and we had fun. And then Zach was standing next to me, and we're like, okay, should we give? No, it didn't come. What the hell is wrong? And then after, it was nice meeting you, man. I'm Young T, and it was like Ice-T's son. And I was like, say hi to Dad. That was, and Zach was like, woo, like a little girl, he was giggling. So it was like, okay, yes, love you, man, have fun. And he was of course there with body count. So that was a great little moment of we had no clue, but we got really girlish happy, sort of.
Totally understood the same. Yeah, great. I think this is a perfect story to end this talk.
Yes, it was a good talk.
Yeah, great. To the people outside, thanks for watching. Clawfinger, new album coming. It's really cool, I can say.
Thank you.
Check it out. Go to the shows, to the festivals, and hopefully a tour. And I say bye-bye. Cheers.
Cheers.